I never wanted to get to the point where I was literally out of money. Now, being out of money in 60 days and being out of money tomorrow, two very different things, right? You can do a lot in 60 days. So I always tried to keep like a 2-month buffer.
Okay.
And so that doesn't feel like a lot of buffer to a lot of people, but it was enough for me because, literally the day I decided to come up with the company, I went and talked to our very first investor, who's a good friend and a board member. He gave me $25,000, and that's what I used to pay some bills and things like that.
Yeah.
And so like every single thing was just like getting the next, the next piece, next brick,
Yeah.
getting the next part of the path built. The only time we ever raised big chunks of money was right after we did that Facebook deal, and like that blew up, and it was super easy. Like we got $2 million without even really trying. But most of the time, it was me talking to one or two individuals, getting them comfortable with what the plan was, and having them feel like, Dan has a good chance of getting it through. So, no, there was unfortunately I never had this opportunity where I could get people to give me millions and millions of dollars till we'd proven things.
Yeah.
When we did get those millions of dollars, is then like 4 months later is when Facebook pulled back.
Wow.
And I think every investor was like, uh-oh, like they'd seen that path happen too often. That's where we got into significant debt. We ended up taking $1 million from investors. We took $1 million. We owed Facebook $1 million because we basically couldn't pay them back, and then we ended up racking up other debt. So there was a time where we were $3 million in the negative. We were making cash. We were making $200,000 to $300,000 a month. So it wasn't like we were doing zero, but the cash flow profitability was at zero, right? So it's like you have $3 million in debt. You couldn't really grow the business because you didn't have enough cash to spend more money in marketing, and it looked like you were kind of trapped there. That was definitely a dark moment.
And when you were in that dark moment, and I'm sure you had other points, did you ever think about, okay, this is it, like I fold, I'm done, let's move on?
I never really thought that way. There were times where I wasn't sure I could make it through. I never thought, I'm kind of a glass half full kind of person. So I don't wake up with doomsday scenarios. A couple of times when we transitioned my co-founder out of the company, who's an awesome guy, where, I hadn't been paid in 18 months. We were losing money. I didn't even have money to pay rent. And it looked pretty gloomy at that point in time.